What's up, manga fans, and welcome back to another review of Bleach. This week's chapter 656, God of Thunder. Now, this was a very short chapter. In terms of its pacing, it was fairly quick. I mean, it was straightforward and, kind of got straight into the action towards the end. But I'd say the most part was a lot of talking from Askin. It was literally talk, talk, talk from him in this chapter. Now, if anyone had read last week's chapter, they would know that Jared had gone on a rampage and basically incapacitated the entire Shinigami group that was on their way to the Soul King's palace in one fell swoop after he activated his ability. Now, anyone could obviously make assumptions that Kubo will do two detours, either go back to where Lille is, where he's fighting Kira, or go to Ichigo's group, and he chooses the latter, Ichigo's group. Now, I was a bit disappointed when we go to this group, but the end of the chapter made up for it, so I'll get to that. Now, as I said, Jared has activated his ability where he's basically a colossal titan type. He hasn't really changed much, but he's just, in terms of looks or design, but he's just become huge. Now, this is something Askin has observed, and he states that, it only makes sense for him to go to that stage right now after Lille got his ass handed to him, but he also observes that Jared probably doesn't even know Lille has got his ass handed to. Now, we actually learn a bit more about Lille in this chapter, that he was more important than I originally believed. He was actually the first to receive his ability. Obviously, we know he's a messenger of God, which we know before, and he was the leader of the elite guards, the small group of, where Askin, Jared, Peninda, and Ishtar consist of. So, what is interesting is further elaborates that Lille was the first one to receive an ability. He wasn't, naturally adept of that ability, or that wasn't something he had from the beginning. Jared and Peninda, on the other hand, are two beings who had their ability already. They didn't have it given to them by Juha. Now, this basically links them up with the Soul King, whereas we knew Peninda was the left hand of the Soul King. It's actually rumored that Jared is the heart of the Soul King. So this makes me think, how many pieces, organs, and body parts of the Soul King is there around? Like, is he just literally just shattered all over the place, and every piece, basically a living vessel, is like a piece of what he is? I mean, I can understand Peninda being the left hand because he looked like a left hand, but Jared is a person, so is he? Because he's that massive size now, maybe they'll take the heart out of him or something like that. But yeah, as I said, that was an interesting kind of little, I'd say, scope of information on the elite guards and Lille. Now, as I said, we go to Ichigo's group, and I was disappointed when we got to it because this observation, or you say monologuing, was actually being described to Ichigo. Now, you would think, okay, Ichigo's standing there listening to him. No, in fact, he's on the floor and he's incapacitated by Askin. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, this guy is supposed to be one of the most powerful on the Shinigami side, on the good side. And he's being, incapacitated by Askin. So I was just like, come on, Kubo, please. I've been literally being patient, waiting to see Ichigo unleash his powers, even if it's not full powers, or his Bankai, just to see him in full action. We only saw a bit of it when he was going toe to toe with 4 Stone Ritters at once and then preparing to fight 8. But now we see Askin's completely reduced him, to a mess on the floor. He's completely incapacitated. There's nothing he can do. Now, this basically links to Askin's hack ability, where he can overdose things, as we've seen before, by ingesting whatever he wants, whatever substance, and then basically making it poison. Chad and Orihime, they try to intervene, and they basically step into the zone or area where Ichigo is lying down, and they also succumb to the poisoning. Now, he explains that he basically ingested the reishi that was similar to in the royal realm, and basically made it as dense as that, and then he poisoned it, so it's basically whatever reishi they're standing nearby or in has poisoned them, and they're basically not dead or anything. He said it's not lethal, but they can't move, so they're completely emotionless and unable to fight. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound bad. I wouldn't have minded if it was Orihime Chad, because that's them. But come on, Ichigo, the protagonist, the first potential war specialist or whatever on that list, and he's being reduced to this. So yeah, I was a bit bummed out about that because I wanted to see Ichigo, like, just take Askin out easily. But this is where I say things made up for it because Yoruichi makes her, I'd say, triumphant entrance because she was smart enough to appear and, or basically, you might say, appear when she's learned everything from Askin. She's like, oh, so that's interesting. And she's literally even mocked him and said, "Oh, so why don't you just strangle them now while they're incapacitated?" And he kind of berates her, saying that's something Bambietta would say. That's kind of like unelegant way to deal with things because he's so feminine, most likely gay. He rather do things more beautifully rather than just barbarically, killing people. So yeah, they get to fighting and in short, Yoruichi is a freaking badass. She unleashes a Shunko, and then she later on unleashes RAIJIN SENKEI Shunko, which was like a massive engulfment of, I'd say, either electricity or thunderbolt or just a huge blast. And it was just amazing to see this. I was just like, yes, at least Yoruichi gets some, limelight to basically kick the crap out of Askin. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be, Yoruichi's fight, if she's going to claim victor over this. Obviously, this one shot that we saw at the end, which was an amazing show, is definitely not going to be the end of Askin. This is Kubo we're talking about. Askin is still most likely going to show us his full ability, his final form before he, kicks the bucket. So whether Yoruichi is the one to take him down or someone else will intervene is up for grabs. But as I said, this battle wasn't over. Hopefully, it doesn't drag out too long. Because, like Yoruichi says, we haven't got time for you, so I'm going to finish this quickly. Which, unfortunately, as I said, she's not going to be the she's not going to be the one to finish him off in the instant like that. But yeah, as I said, this battle wasn't over, so we'll just have to wait and see. But as I said, the fighting at the end was amazing. Yoruichi once again proves why she is one of the best combatants in terms of hand to hand in this series, and that Shunko ability at the end was amazing. So that's why I said, despite Ichigo, being subdued and defeated, Yoruichi's, intervention was amazing. It made up for me, the chapter for me personally. And as I said, I just can't wait to see what will happen next. Hopefully, Kubo will give this fight to and let her beat Asking down. If not, I don't want to see her get taken up. That's all I want to say. Maybe Urahara will turn up because I remember people. I noticed in the last chapter that he wasn't actually there with the Shinigami group. So did he leave and go to Yoruichi to assist her? Who knows? So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, as I said, short chapter, straightforward. Let's get on with this battle. That's pretty much it for this chapter. So you've heard what I've said. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave any opinions, comments, anything. I'd like to hear what you guys think. And I'll speak to you guys next time. Take care.